Well, it's now 4 days until the biggest boxing match in British post-war history. The rematch between Carl Froch, who's from Nottingham, and Londoner George Groves.
But this isn't the first time Froch has taken part in a high-profile rematch. It happened once before to the man who'd given Froch his first ever professional defeat. Our sport correspondent Steve Klemp has been speaking exclusively to Mikkel Kessler to get the fighter's verdict.
Copenhagen, Denmark's capital city, where over a fifth of the nation's entire population reside. Beautiful architecture can be found at every turn. And then there's these statues. Danes certainly love their sculpture, perhaps almost as much as they love their bikes. In this bustling city, more people commute by pedal power than in the whole of the United States of America. Quite something when you remember the country's population is less than 1/10 of that of Great Britain. It might be a fairly small nation, but it's produced some pretty big sporting stars. Take Michael and Brian Laudrup, or how about Kasper and Peter Schmeichel? And then there's the tennis ace, Caroline Wozniacki. But perhaps nobody has quite reached the pinnacle of their sport like the 5 times world champion and first man ever to beat Carl Froch. Mikkel Kessler, the Viking warrior. One of Denmark's most loved sporting heroes and the first fighter ever to get the better of the Cobra. Well, Mikkel Kessler beat Carl Froch here in Denmark in 2010, and in boxing terms, that really put the cat amongst the pigeons. It was an epic battle going the full distance, both fighters putting everything on the line. But Kessler had the edge. Froch's unbeaten record was gone. And Carl would have to wait 3 years to avenge that. He did that in London at the O2 Arena. A sellout crowd saw another brutal contest. This time, though, it was the man from Nottingham who got the unanimous points decision. So there's no doubt these men fought out 2 of boxing's biggest battles. I've come to Denmark to speak to Kessler to find out what he thinks of Froch Groves, the rematch, the fight billed as the biggest in British boxing history. I was invited to Kessler's own personal gym. In honour of Carl, I challenged him to a duel of table tennis. Now, that first meeting, Carl and George, it ended in controversial circumstances. Do you think there was the right winner? Do you think it was finished at the right time, that the referee got it right?
Referee probably will shoot what's wrong, and he probably heard too much rumor about he has not a good jaw and should have stopped the fight because his work is to take care of the fighter. But I would still say they probably should end the fight too fast. It's a big fight, 2 belts, and they should have let Groves been fighting at least 1 or 2 minutes more. So how do you see this rematch at Wembley Stadium going? Carl is more experienced. He can get down, come up, and get into the fight again. But I think he woke up now, Carl, and he probably trained in a different way. Groves, he got some. He could taste blood in the last fight, and I think he will come strong. And it's the hardest thing to say, who's going to win the fight, who's better than the other. Groves is a more hungry one. Froch has something to show now, so it'll be a massive fight. I'm looking forward to it. But what about Mikkel Kessler himself? Is there any chance that the 2 great warriors could meet again? Kessler, Froch, the 3rd fight. Your fans would love it. Carl's fans would love it. Would that ever happen? Is it possible? Of course, we have something to settle, but I'm still thinking about my future. Have a child now and have a responsibility. So not a no. But before any chance of that, Froch must face Groves. And with the big day approaching fast, one final word from Mikkel to his old adversary. Hey Carl, it's Mikkel Kessler from Denmark. I just want to wish you a good fight and good luck.
Yeah, lots of luck, and it's getting closer, isn't it? We'll be continuing our build-up to the Froch Groves rematch on the programme tomorrow night. Our sports correspondent Steve Clamp will be at Wembley Stadium for the press conference, which could well be another heated one. So stay tuned to ITV News Central's coverage here and on our website.
Not to be missed.